Can you feel it? That creeping sense of dread, that unsettling whisper of what if that haunts every ambitious gamble. The Atlanta Falcons just months ago made a move so audacious, so utterly against the grain, that it sent shockwaves across the entire NFL landscape. They had just committed a staggering $180 million to a proven veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins, only to turn around and, with the 8th overall pick in the draft, select another quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. It was a strategy lauded by some as visionary, derided by others as sheer lunacy. But now, as the season unfolds, a chilling question hangs heavy in the Georgia air. Did the Atlanta Falcons, in their pursuit of a quarterback succession plan, inadvertently lay the groundwork for a quarterback crisis? Welcome, football fanatics, to a story that's less about the thrill of a perfectly executed play and more about the agonizing suspense of a high-stakes poker game where the cards just aren't falling your way. The Atlanta Falcons, a franchise perpetually searching for that elusive, consistent winner, embarked on an off-season journey that was nothing short of a seismic gamble. After years of quarterback carousel rides and unfulfilled potential, they made a definitive statement. They were going all in on stability, experience, and a clear path forward. The first domino to fall was the blockbuster signing of Kirk Cousins. A proven commodity, a steady hand, a quarterback capable of elevating an offense, Cousins arrived in Atlanta with a 4-year, $180 million contract, signaling a clear intent to compete now. This was the veteran presence, the leadership, the arm talent they believed would finally unlock the potential of their dynamic offensive weapons. The ink was barely dry on that monumental deal when the football world collectively gasped. With the 8th overall pick in the NFL draft, a pick that could have landed an elite pass rusher, a game-changing offensive lineman, or a lockdown corner, the Falcons chose another quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. The decision was met with a cacophony of reactions: confusion, bewilderment, and outright outrage from some corners. Others, however, attempted to rationalize it, painting a picture of a brilliant long-term vision. The theory, as it was articulated, was sound on paper: secure a veteran bridge quarterback in Cousins, a player who could immediately elevate the team, while simultaneously drafting a high-upside prospect in Penix Jr. to sit, learn, and develop without the immediate pressure of starting. This would allow Penix to hone his craft, absorb the intricacies of the NFL game, and eventually seamlessly transition into the starting role when Cousins' tenure concluded. It was the ultimate succession plan, a meticulously crafted blueprint for sustained quarterback excellence. The problem, as we are now discovering, is that even the most brilliant blueprints can crumble under the harsh realities of the NFL. Fast forward to the day, and the initial optimism surrounding this unconventional strategy is rapidly eroding, replaced by a growing sense of unease. The whispers of doubt are growing louder, fueled by the early struggles of Michael Penix Jr. on the field. It's a premise chillingly explored by ESPN's Ben Solak in a new article this Tuesday, and his findings are far from positive. Solak, a respected voice in football analysis, doesn't mince words, suggesting that the Falcons may have, in his blunt assessment, whiffed. Solak, to his credit, acknowledges the fundamental appeal of drafting a quarterback on a rookie-scale contract. It's a tried-and-true roster construction method in the modern NFL. If you can hit on a young quarterback, that cost-controlled contract frees up immense cap space to build a championship-caliber roster around him. It's the golden ticket, the holy grail of team building. If the quarterback can play, and that, my friends, is the million-dollar question now swirling around Michael Penix Jr., according to Solak's incisive analysis, Penix has simply not looked like an 8th overall pick. This isn't just about a few bad throws or rookie jitters, it's about fundamental concerns that are raising serious red flags. Solak concedes that Penix possesses impressive velocity and arm strength. Indeed, his ability to sling the ball with zip and his quick-release speed are his cardinal traits, qualities that will likely ensure he has a place in the NFL for a while. But in the unforgiving crucible of professional football, arm talent alone is rarely enough. The criticisms leveled against Penix are far more concerning because they touch upon core aspects of quarterback play that are essential for success at this level. Salek points out that Penix doesn't move much. In today's NFL, where mobile quarterbacks are not just a luxury, but often a necessity, a lack of escapability and pocket presence can be a death sentence. When the pocket collapses, when the pressure mounts, Penix has struggled mightily. He is, in Salek's words, one of the league's worst quarterbacks when pressured. This isn't a minor flaw, it's a glaring vulnerability that opposing defensive coordinators will exploit relentlessly. Furthermore, Salek highlights Penix's inability to make fast decisions in the pocket. The NFL game moves at warp speed, and quarterbacks must process information, read defenses, and deliver the ball with lightning quickness. Penix's slower processing speed makes him particularly shaky against the blitz, a common defensive tactic designed to confuse and overwhelm quarterbacks. His dropback success rate when blitzed ranks a dismal 27th among 33 quarterbacks this season. That statistic alone should send shivers down the spines of Falcons fans. It indicates a quarterback who is struggling to cope with the mental and physical demands of an NFL pass rush, a player who is consistently being outmaneuvered by opposing defenses. And to compound these issues, Salek concludes that, to this point, Penix doesn't have NFL-caliber accuracy. For a quarterback drafted in the top 10, these are not minor growing pains. These are foundational concerns that demand immediate and significant improvement. To put Penix's struggles into a broader perspective, Salek examined his performance in the context of other quarterbacks drafted in the same range. J.J. McCarthy, taken 10th overall by the Minnesota Vikings, and Bo Nix, selected 12th overall by the Denver Broncos. This trio, relative to the top 5 choices of Caleb Williams, Bears, Jaden Daniels, Commanders, and Drake May, Patriots, simply hasn't looked nearly as good. While you might naturally expect quarterbacks taken 4th, 5th, and 6th off the board in terms of position, not overall pick, to potentially not be as polished as the top-tier talents, the gap in performance is becoming increasingly stark. This leads to a critical question that Salek poses, one that resonates deeply with the Falcons situation. Were these mid-first-round quarterbacks, including Penix, simply overpays because they were quarterbacks? The demand for franchise quarterbacks in the NFL is insatiable, often leading teams to reach for talent, to elevate prospects on their draft boards simply because of the position they play. The scarcity of elite quarterback talent can create a market distortion where teams, desperate to secure their future at the most important position in sports, might overlook significant flaws or project unrealistic ceilings. If Penix, McCarthy, and Nix continue on their current trajectories, it will fuel the argument that teams are indeed overvaluing quarterbacks in the draft, especially outside the very top tier. And in Atlanta, with that recent colossal investment of $180 million in Kirk Cousins, the question of whether drafting Penix was worth it becomes even more poignant, even more critical. The Falcons are now in a precarious position, straddling a tightrope between immediate competitiveness with Cousins and the long-term development of Penix. If Penix doesn't pan out, if he continues to struggle with the fundamental aspects of NFL quarterbacking, then the Falcons will have effectively sunk a top 10 draft pick into a player who cannot fulfill the role for which he was drafted. This isn't just a missed pick, it's a potential organizational blunder of epic proportions, especially when considering the opportunity cost of not drafting an impact player at another position of need. Of course, it's crucial to acknowledge that Penix Jr. still has time. He's only made 11 career starts, a relatively small sample size in the grand scheme of an NFL career. Quarterback development is rarely linear, and many successful signal callers have endured rocky starts before finding their stride. The physical tools are there, the arm talent, the release, but the clock is ticking, and the NFL is an unforgiving league. The pressure on Penix to turn it around, to demonstrate significant improvement in his decision-making, pocket presence, and accuracy is immense. If he doesn't show signs of progress soon, if these fundamental issues persist, then the chatter of finding yet another quarterback will inevitably begin. And for a team that just committed $180 million to Cousins and a top 10 pick to Penix, the prospect of having to search for another quarterback in the near future is not ideal at all. It would represent a catastrophic failure of their grand offseason strategy, a devastating blow to the franchise's long-term stability, and a clear indictment of the decision-makers who orchestrated this bold, yet increasingly problematic plan. The Falcons are currently navigating a treacherous path, and the success or failure of Michael Penix Jr. will undoubtedly define the trajectory of this franchise for years to come. What a fascinating and frankly concerning situation unfolding in Atlanta. The Falcons took a swing, a massive, audacious swing, and now they're left grappling with the potential fallout. It's a stark reminder that even the most well-intentioned plans can go awry in the unpredictable world of the NFL. What do you think about Michael Penix Jr.'s struggles and the Falcons' quarterback strategy? Is it too early to panic, or are these red flags legitimate? Let us know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Falcons' quarterback conundrum, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered analysis and passionate football discussion.